Porsche just plugged in the Boxster. The 718 EV promises instant torque, a low battery center of gravity, and charging fast enough to turn a coffee stop into real miles, wrapped in a shape that's defined small Porsche sports cars for decades. On paper, it should launch harder, corner flatter, and cruise quieter than any 718 before it. But the question isn't how quick, it's how does it feel? Does an electric Boxster keep the sparkle, the steering torque, the balance, the magic roof-down moment? Or is this the first Porsche that's brilliant but different? Let's find out. Meet the Porsche 718 EV, the first fully electric Boxster and the boldest change to Porsche's small sports car formula in a generation. The 718 name has meant light, sharp, mid-engine balance. This one trades cylinders for cells and puts the mass low in the chassis to chase that same planted, playful feel. From a few steps back, it's still pure 718. Compact footprint, short overhangs, wide stance, fabric roof that disappears with a single switch. Up close, the aero is cleaner, the lighting is tighter, and the cabin moves to a modern, screen-forward layout that still keeps the driver at the center. Why does this launch matter? Because the US market loves fast cars that double as daily drivers, and an electric Boxster could be the bridge between weekend fun and weekday practicality. If Porsche can deliver classic steering feel, confident brakes, and that just right seating position, while adding silent starts, quick home charging, and road trip-friendly fast charging, it could reset expectations for compact performance EVs. Think shoppers cross-shopping hot coupes and high-spec EV sedans who want something smaller, lighter, and more special. We're keeping specs light for now. The real story is how it behaves. In a minute, we'll walk through the design details you notice on the first lap of the car, the driving position that either makes or breaks a sports car, and the tech that should help without getting in the way. Then, we'll take it downtown, out on the highway, and onto a favorite back road to answer the question that matters. Does the 718 EV feel like a Boxster first and an EV second, or the other way around? Stay tuned. Ease it out of the garage, and the first surprise is the calm. No idle chatter, no heat shimmer, just a clean roll as the throttle brushes your shoe and the 718 EV glides forward. Steering is light at parking speed, then firms as the front end keys into the pavement. You can place the nose on a coin. In town, the instant shove is the headline. Gaps you use to time now feel like thoughts you finish early. The suspension takes the sting out of broken city blocks without losing that tightly buttoned body control Porsche people love. Roof down, the soundscape is different. Wind, tires, a faint electric whir. But there's still that open-air point and squirt feeling that made the Boxster famous. Design tells you what it wants to do. The stance is low and wide with short overhangs, the surface work is taut, and the aero reads cleaner than any 718 before it. The nose sits purposeful without being shouty, and the lighting has that technical, jewel-like precision that catches your eye at dusk. Around the back, the tail is simple and muscular, diffuser tidy, everything shaped to glide air rather than fight it. Slide inside and it's modern without being bossy. Thin, curved screens that wake fast, a proper round wheel with just the right thickness, and seats that hold you at the hips but don't pinch your shoulders. Storage isn't huge, but the mix of front trunk and cabin cubbies makes weekend bags and a camera kit a non-issue. On a ramp to the highway, the EV character pays off. You tip in, and the 718 EV digs. No drama, no pause, just a smooth sling into traffic. At 70, the cabin settles. Wind is a whisper around the mirrors, the structure feels rock solid, and the powertrain fades into the background until you ask for more. Dial the regen up, and you get that one-pedal rhythm in traffic. Dial it back, and the car coasts naturally for long, relaxed miles. The driver assists behave like a calm co-pilot. lane centering that doesn't nag, adaptive cruise that won't yo-yo, a 360 camera that stays sharp at dusk and doesn't smear in the rain. It feels like someone tuned the software with a stopwatch and a commute, not just a spec sheet. Push harder on a favorite back road, and the low battery mass becomes your ally. Turn-in is clean, the body takes a set, and the car rides the camber like it's reading the road a page ahead. Mid-corner bumps that upset lighter, taller EVs pass under the 718 with a single, well-damped motion. You learn quickly that earlier throttle is on the table. The instant push helps stitch awkward corners together with less shifting and more flow. The brake pedal starts with that familiar EV blend, then firms into a predictable bite you can lean on. It's different from a purely mechanical setup, yes, but the learning curve is measured in minutes, not days. There are edges. In a quick left-right, you can feel the mass gather itself for a beat if your inputs get messy. Clean hands and eyes up fix it. With the roof down on coarse pavement, you'll hear a touch more tire texture than in a hardtop. And yes, the option sheet still has a sense of humor. Pick carefully, or the price climbs fast. Range? We'll run a steady-state loop to see how the numbers land in real miles, and the fast charge curve is the bigger story anyway. Is it a brief spike or a useful plateau that makes a coffee stop count? So where does that leave it? An electric 718 that just checks the spec boxes, or a Boxster that happens to be silent until it isn't? Our timed section and highway tests gave us two results we didn't expect, especially on corner exit and during a mid-charge top-up. And there's one recommended spec that quietly flips the value story. All of that, next. Here it is, the truth run. Same stretch of tarmac we use for every small sports car, a blind crest into a tight left, a fast right that rewards faith, and a rough section that exposes weak body control. 3 passes, 3 setups, light regen, medium, strong. Pass 1 is tidy and quick, the kind of pace you expect from a well-sorted 718. Pass 2 sharpens everything. Turn in cleaner, throttle sooner, the car riding the camber like it's reading the road ahead. Pass 3 is the jolt. With strong regen, you breathe off the accelerator at turn-in, and the car trims speed exactly where you want it. No pedal, no drama, rotates, and fires out. Corner exits feel like you found a downshift you didn't have. Not louder, just faster. We roll straight into the braking and lane change sequence. The pedal starts with that gentle EV blend, then firms into a solid, confidence-inspiring bite. Quick left-right? There's a heartbeat where the mass gathers, then the chassis snaps flat, and you're through cones you usually respect, not attack. The steering isn't chatty for the sake of it. It speaks in short, useful sentences. Grip here, breathe now, go. The stopwatch agrees. The gap over our benchmark isn't huge on the straight. It's 1 at the exits, every single time. Highway loop, roof down, steady 70. This is the second surprise. The cabin stays calm, wind a clean ribbon around the mirrors, and the energy readout falls in predictable ticks. Pull in for a mid-trip fast charge, and the headline isn't a spike. It's a plateau. Power rises, holds longer than we expected, and by the time the coffee is gone, the nav says we can skip the next stop. That's real trip planning, not brochure math. So what's the turn? We came for fireworks, we got rhythm, speed you can repeat without theatrics, steering that still feels like Porsche, and a charging curve that fits real life. But there are trade-offs you'll need to accept. Is the 718 EV a game changer or a brilliant compromise? Let's talk trims, value, and the spec we'd actually buy right now. Verdict: the 718 EV feels like a Porsche first and an EV second, and that order matters. It trades the old engine's soundtrack for certainty, earlier throttle on corner exit, calmer highway miles, and a fast charge curve that fits real trips instead of spec sheets. The sparkle isn't gone, it's reframed. You guide it with fingertips, trust the brakes after the first inch, and stitch messy corners together with that instant push you can't get from revs alone. Big wins, planted balance from the low battery mass, steering that still speaks in short, useful sentences, braking that's consistent lap after lap, and real-world charging that buys you time, not just numbers. Daily usability is strong. Quiet starts, one-pedal ease in traffic, tech that behaves like a calm co-pilot, and enough storage for a weekend if you pack like a sports car owner. Real trade-offs. You'll feel the weight in a quick left-right if your inputs get sloppy. The first inch of pedal blends regen and bite. Easy to learn, just different. Range is good sports car, not road trip king, and options can snowball if you chase every trim and texture. Roof down on coarse pavement, tire noise creeps in sooner than a hardtop. Who should buy it? Drivers who value flow over fireworks, people who want a compact, precise sports car that's quick in the right places and easy to live with. City and suburban owners with home charging will love it. Weekend road trippers who plan stops around good coffee will be fine. If your heart needs the old mechanical theater or you live for track marathons, a lighter ICE alternative or a future RS-style variant might suit you better. Why it matters in the US now. This is the template for enthusiast EVs. Use electrons to erase hesitation, not emotion. Expect rivals to chase repeatable pace, cleaner aero, and charging plateaus that make 15 minutes count. Your call. Game changer or brilliant compromise? If this breakdown helped, smash like, subscribe with notifications, and tell us below, would you go electric for this kind of response? And which spec would you pick? Your take shapes our next test.